GM friends, can you hear me?
Hey everybody, GM.
GM Coder Dan.
Hey, No Future, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Can't complain. How are you?
Pretty good. Another blur of a week here, but keeping up. This week was definitely a little bit easier than last week, so making progress.
Yeah, that's always good. How's the baby?
Baby's good. He's eating well, sleeping,
That's
doing
good.
baby stuff.
Yeah, the baby stuff. Just put that in there. Going live on the arena, so just give me 1 second.
Right.
Oh, I saw that we had a new feature update today.
Yeah, we're gonna get Fifu. It's gonna come on whenever he wants in the next hour here, whenever we got some time to talk about the outfit manager. This was a part of the Agip 135 prop, and kind of tries to solve the issue of having a bunch of different outfits for your gotchis for different games or whatever you're trying to do. Yeah, if you let's wait a few more minutes, Fifu, until we get a few more people. I mean, we can chat a bit about it now, but wait until a couple more folks file in here to get the main stuff. But yeah, it's a cool feature. Like it allows you to have different outfits for different purposes. So if you have a rarity farming outfit or like a gotchi battler outfit or whatever, you can now make those in the outfit manager.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sifu, hey sir.
GM, I'm a futuristic, I could add on.
Hey.
It was not just me, it was me and PG because he did all the part regarding the smart contract. And I did all the rest, meaning the DApp integration. And now that it's done, my feeling is that we did it at the worst possible moment, basically, because so much things have changed in the ecosystem between the moment, in a few months, just between the moment where I had the idea, where I made the proposal, we started implementing, and now, I mean, we were supposed to deliver on Geist, and this part has changed. There was a lot of big changes that you introduced into the DApp, and it's like, I mean, that's and there were good changes overall because you updated version, you keep everything up to date, so you can open source it in better condition later on. So it was all positive, but in the end, yeah, we kind of. My feeling is that we could have performed better if there was, how can I say, if some external factors it did not align well. We did it, it worked. I'm super happy about it, and it gives me motivation to keep building things on the ecosystem, on the DApp or somewhere else, depend on the feature. But I have the feeling that it was kind of bad luck regarding the timing because it was not the easiest one. But it's even better that we made it even in those conditions.
Yeah, I think it had to be done. We've kind of been putting both of these big refactors off just because there was so much other higher priority stuff to do.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
with the open source coming, we were like, we need to make this app strict mode friendly and get to the latest version of Next.js.
Yeah,
this is like very nerdy stuff for people listening.
Exactly.
But needed to be
Plus, when
done.
I saw the app, I told you should put the strict type stuff for later on. So even I pushed for the things that basically hurt me later on. But yeah, that's how it is. We have to move on, and I think it's a good step. So
the other part is I think it's not currently included in the migration to duplicate all of the different configs that people make. We're gonna see if the feature gets used a lot, then we can add it or consider it. It's going to take some time to add that, but we are kind of launching it. Also, we wanted to get the feature out for people to play with and give feedback on. So if you think there's areas where it could be improved, feel free to mention those. But it's kind of like a trial run of the feature almost, because we're not currently planning to clone all of the wearable configs and stuff that people create onto base. Can be done. It's just there's a lot of stuff currently up in the air and a lot of testing going on and all sorts of contracts. So weren't planning to, but I mean, if people really are loving the feature and it's getting used a lot, we can try and cram that in at the end. But really, it's more about just getting the feature out there for people to use, play with it, suggest any improvements. We can the DAP team or FIFU and PG can help improve on those before the big launch on base.
Yeah, I don't really mind because base is coming very soon, so it's not like if there was like it's not like if the feature had been there for like many months or something like that, and there were already hundreds of configs stored in it. It's kind of brand new. You released it. It's been released today, and if my understanding is correct, the goal is to migrate to base like within the next 6 weeks or so, or something like that. I'm not sure if it's still the good schedule, but yeah, I mean, maybe it's not worth it that you spend more time like duplicating the config and testing everything. If it's just like to save a few configuration. I mean, I don't know if there is 1,000 configuration already created next month, maybe you will reconsider, but I totally understand the fact that it's not a priority. As long as my Gotchis they arrive safe and sound in base with their wearables, and
Totally.
I can remake the configuration. It's like quality of life. It's not critical.
There's also no kind of impetus, I guess, for people making a lot of configs in the next 5-6 weeks, unless I'm not sure if Gotchi Battler is going to have their Rarity Farming Season 10 tournament soon. That could be one thing that could get people creating new configs. Otherwise, I'm not sure how much the feature will be used, but that's one thing to consider.
Yeah, based on
I have a feeling they're
activity,
going to wait until we launch on base, but I wouldn't know.
You're right, and based on the current activity of games, I agree that Battler is the number one candidate for how can I say, for people to create config and to play with the feature.
Yeah.
So if there are some configs created and so on, I think it should it will certainly happen here, I would say.
Are there any specific things that you wanted to point out, of any kind of power user things that that people should be aware of related to this outfit manager feature?
Well, not that many. I invite everyone to go to the page to try to use it, and at the same time, if they play Battler, when they create their configuration or to back up their GBM, their BRS configuration. And of course, to report any feedbacks regarding things, if some things do not work as expected. We tested a lot, so I hope we're good on that part, but you never know. There are two other things I wanted to mention. First, I contacted Immaterial because there is apparently some balance patches coming onto Battler, and I invited him to update the schema by himself. So basically, we keep the game, the per game schema, update it on a separate repo, and then next time you just have to release the DAP, and everything is up to date. So he told me he will take a look at. He took a look at it. He told me he's going to make himself a pull request. I offered assistance if he needed, if needed. But yeah, still waiting a feedback. But basically, he likes the idea. He likes the repo. So I think we're all good on that part. Which basically the goal is that the game makers go to the repo and make pull requests with the changes, the balance changes they are going to release. So that's the first good thing. And the second is kind of a follow-up on this DApp development. Basically, there are a few other ideas I have regarding features I would like to put in the DApp. But not sure regarding if all the features I want to do are good ideas or if all features will be interesting for everyone and so on. So I think I will start again by opening a thread somewhere on the Discord, like a prop thread or something like that, to kind of see what people are interested in. And depending on that, I may do a new proposal in the next week or months to request additional funding to implement new features in the DApp. But it's up to people to decide.
Any hint about what those could be?
Yeah, no problem. The first thing is regarding the batch lending. So, as some of you know, my own DApp for the Aavegotchi protocol, Verse Analytics, which was centered on Alchemica, the Gotchiverse, lending, and so on, it's still the only place where you can efficiently do some batch lending of your Gotchi. But the feature is part of the protocol, so I feel like at some point it should be integrated directly into the main DApp. So that's one of the options. And the second one is a bit more ambitious, but I had some thought about it for quite some time. But I would like to make like a one-click button that is going to rearrange all your Gotchi, all your wearables in order to maximize your whole BRS. Or how can I say? Yeah, so you get the highest possible BRS on your whole Gotchi collection in one click.
Nice. That was, I think there was an intention or maybe an idea to do that as part of the outfit manager, but I guess it didn't make it into the final prop, right?
It was a bit too much. It was not the same stuff, and it was kind of a big request, and it would have been a many months development period, and I decided to split it a bit because I was not sure, if you have only 2 or 3 or 4 Gotchi, do you really need that feature? So my feeling was that many holders would have said, yeah, I'm not that interested into that one. So I prefer to split. But yeah, I still have the idea I still think it could be interesting. So yeah, will be part of the things that I will propose to implement.
Nice.
And that's it.
Well, cool. Does anyone have any questions about the outfit manager or anything related to what FIFU and PG have done with the game traits? I see PG giving some alpha here. Possible to delegate profile creation for those with lots of gotchis. Takes a small fee to create for someone else's gotchi, but it goes to the owner, so it's basically free. And there's also 3 free slots per gotchi. That's a great point.
Yeah, exactly. And I saw that you added all the wearables as with their 3D assets this week, I guess. It's nice.
Yep. We've been, the DApp team has been very busy this week. That's one of the, I guess, the easiest place to see these updates now. We as part of this release, we also added a new announcements page that's going to be very busy over the next couple months. So all the new DApp updates and any major things that we want people to be aware of who aren't necessarily checking Discord all the time, all the announcement channels those will also
Mhm.
be put onto the announcements page. So yeah, you can see on April 22nd, 3D wearables are now viewable throughout the dApp. So if you are just cruising around in the bazaar or in your profile or anywhere, you will likely see some these new looking 3D wearables, which are very cool looking. And if you
Yeah,
want to change back to, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, it's a very cool one because I discovered it on the fly when I was testing the app, and I said, why they changed those? Because I didn't check. I pulled the main branch, and I did not check all the changes, of course, because
Right,
there are
right.
so many. I say, oh wow, they changed it. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
the
I
alpha.
like it. Yeah, totally
Yeah.
real time.
And we're also working on the actual Aavegotchis. We didn't want to hold back. Like it's been ready, the 3D wearables, for a while now, and we just made the decision. You know what? Let's just get them out there so people can start seeing them and playing around with them. The
Oh, you
Aavegotchis
mean
are also coming as well soon.
the whole? But is it not? How do you do it? You make because it's Unity. Everything is in Unity. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a system. Basically, we'll have, from my understanding, our team members Jerome and Robson are working on this. There's going to be an API that you'll be able to hit, and that API is going to return you the GLB of the Gotchi, and
Ah, okay. So
basically we're going to
okay.
render
You
it
render,
every
you
time
pre-render on the
you.
server. So you do,
Yeah,
I was thinking we are going to download all the assets just to render one Gotchi is going to be okay,
right.
okay. Yeah, it's smart. It's very
Yeah,
smart.
this will be something that any dev will be able to use. So Gotchi Battler has been requesting it. Anyone who wants to make like a game and show the Gotchi will you'll have the GLB file. It won't be like the full Unity SDK with all the emotes and everything, but you'll at least be able to look at the Gotchi in 3D, spin it around, and kind of hang out with it a little bit. So yeah, I'm excited for that. The team is working on that as we speak, and don't exactly know. It's gonna, it's a big feature, so probably is going to be 1 or 2 sprints worth of work. As the team is also working on some other bigger stuff for like Gotcha Guardians, but it's definitely priority, and we want to finish up, get that 3D coming soon, get that finally removed from the dApp, and actually have the real version, which I think that'll be really cool. And
Yeah.
that's the beginning. But then I would love to have like things like the voxel version that Bin Laden made, and the sprites that we made for Reckless, and what for drops. Like I would love to. You should be able to view your Gotchi in any SDK that anyone has made, as long as it's fully up to date. I would love to be able to show those a voxel version of the Gotchis as well, and the wearables. I think that'd be super cool. Like you should be, if people have done the work, why not be able to just show everything on the dApp?
Yeah,
But
it's going to be a
I
bit more
haven't
dev for you,
gotten.
but it should work for
Yeah,
everything as long as if there are Unity SDK too. The way you describe it, I think it's additional work every time, of course, but
yeah,
and it's good because the page is going to load quite fast. I guess it's not like if you have to re-render everything on your browser. So yeah,
yeah,
it's going to be a nice user experience, I think.
yeah. I think for the Gotchis, like on the marketplace, I think what we'll do is, for the wearables, we're actually loading in the whole wearable, the GLB file, and which I think is a little bit overkill. We probably should just be loading in the static image of the wearable, and then when you hover over it or click on it, that's when we actually load in the GLB. That'll be much smaller, and I think we'll do the same thing for the Gotchis as well. So in the list views where there's like a lot of Gotchis, we're not going to load in the full GLB for the Gotchi, because I think it's pretty big. It's definitely a couple dozen megabytes or something. So you'll see the 3D preview image of the Gotchi, and then if you click into it, that's when we'll actually load the full Aavegotchi.
That's smart. Yeah.
So yeah, and then the other part, we finally got around to. This is something we've had in our backlog for just so long, and we finally got around to doing it. Fake gotchis now stack in your inventory. So if you're someone that made some fake gotchis or you collect a lot of fake gotchis, it's definitely kind of annoying how much space they take up in your inventory. So we've got this request from Zbot a while ago, and he was saying, "Can we just like stack the cards in my inventory so they don't take up all this space?" And we finally got the bandwidth to do that, and it's looking really nice. If you go into your inventory, you'll see that these fake gotchi cards are the fake gotchis themselves are now stacking, and you can it shows you how many you have and also how many you have for sale. So hopefully that helps people clean up their inventory a little bit. Thrax appreciating the update. Yeah, I think it's we want to do, like, as we prepare for the migration to base as well. We're going to give a little bit more love to Fake Gotchis, get the Fake Gotchis website up and do some updates that we've been kind of waiting to do for a while, and just kind of rekindle the project a little bit. I think it's going to have a nice future on base. Yeah, Join is enjoying it too. So yeah, that was V 2.1, and the last update we've pushed, aside from a bunch of bug fixes and things, was the activity page is now it's showing a lot more information than it was before, which is very useful. So especially on mobile, I kept opening it on mobile, and I'm like, I don't want to have to keep expanding this to see key information. So we finally got that PR merged, and the activity page is looking really nice. So yeah, front end team has been busy this week. We also recently shipped a new Gotchi Guardians landing page. That's looking really nice. Still some work to do on it, but I'm definitely way happier than I was before with the original landing page. Golden Cross, hello, sir.
Yo, I heard a mention of the landing page and just thought I'd have to hop up. So
Yeah.
if anyone visited it like last week, there was one or two visual bugs, we'll call them, and those are all cleaned up now. So I'm proud to share it and show it off again.
Yeah.
Gotchi Guardian's looking good. And the team over there, they've got the plans to launch a new patch for the web version of Gotchi Guardians. So we're probably a week out from that, maybe 10
think so.
days.
Yeah, we're getting close.
First week of May is the target. It's got
A lot
some
of big
updates.
improvements coming. Yeah,
Yeah.
first time user experience, and I don't think the leaderboard is going to be done yet, but it's close. I have to go and look at exactly what's coming, but I know it's a big one. They've been doing a ton of work on it.
Yeah, the gameplay is pretty set. Now it's a lot of like
Yeah.
the feature work outside of the game that is necessary for a more ambitious, ship to make it a cross-platform game. So not a battle pass, but like more progression. You know where you are, you know where you could go, and leaderboards. Yeah. So we'll do another push with basement. We got a lot of players that came in from B3. We had a nice spike in users there, and actually the stickiness, the return player metrics were good. Like especially for a tower defense game, it shows a lot of potential. So there really were no big play to earn mechanics attached after the season 1 of Gotchi points ended, and the players have stayed, within a certain amount of reasons. So we'll keep learning from where they bounce and when they bounce, and basically put more content into the first couple of days of gameplay, so people have plenty of reasons to really commit to the game. So that's where the team's focused. And the website got a little update. I think this new version too, we can start promoting it with ads and stuff more. It'll be like downloading faster for the web version.
Yeah, that's been a big thing that they've been focusing on, just trying to Right now, the download is just too slow for a browser-based game, and so we're trying to get that download as small as possible to try and prevent churn when we do start running ads and ways that will kind of funnel people in.
Julio, one of our senior, probably our most senior Unity lead from Gotchiverse team, he basically spent the last 2 weeks optimizing the WebGL build. A lot of time put into that. Well, I can't say just that. He also is working on the new features for the what are they calling it? Kind of a new page in the player summary area in the item shop. So actually, he's all over the place. But for the WebGL version, he's been instrumental in identifying ways to optimize it. And so he's been really helpful in that department. So we'll see the results of that in this next patch. Yeah,
And
just listening.
I was going to say, you put out that post in Gotchiverse 3D. I'm sure a lot of folks are curious, this transition from 2D to 3D, how that's going to work.
Yeah, it's I was just over there actually just leaving a couple updates because anytime you make an announcement like that, you're going to get feedback on like, well, wait, don't forget A, B, C, and that's good. That's what we need. So yes, the announcement came out along with all the other migration news for moving to base that will move to base with a unified Gotchiverse, and it will be the 3D one. No surprises there, but it is also nostalgically kind of sad to say goodbye to the 2D one. So, we said take this week, touch some grid, spend some time in the 2D verse, and be ready for the 3D unification when we go to base. Most of the things that like Hardcore mentioned a couple of things. I think most of them like they actually are in the 3D, but maybe he wasn't aware, like the filters for certain features or parcels. But we're going to double check everything starting Monday with the team and make sure if there is any feedback on features that were in 2D and are not in 3D or are less than satisfying, we'll take the extra time to write those. So it's not like we have to do it next Friday, but the announcement is to turn them off on Friday. And the other big part of that really nobody's talked about yet is we also mentioned in the announcement that everything will be open sourced. So I would love to see, everybody as a DAO, if you want to be able to still touch 2D grid, there's nothing stopping the DAO from taking the code, the assets, the artwork, and creating your own version of a 2D Gotchiverse, or maybe it's a mini game that nostalgically reckons the aesthetics of the 2D Gotchiverse. There's actually a lot of things you could do there. So the team is meticulously documenting and preserving everything for that open sourcing.
Yeah, we want to set a good example for how things in games should be that are commissioned by the DAO should be either like sunset or given back to the DAO. I'll make an example starting with this our first game. So I would say it's not easy to run the thing. Like the back end that powers Gotchiverse 2D is honestly it's probably over engineered. We were quite ambitious with what we were trying to do, having super low latency and having everyone synced up across the world on different instances. Like it was very ambitious. But the aesthetics and stuff, if people might take inspiration from some of the front end and the code that is in there, definitely worth checking out. That's also kind of a good segue into the bigger announcement, which if you guys go to the announcements channel here in Discord or on the DApp, we can just briefly run through that and the reason that it's being done. So the big thing is starting May 2nd, we're going to be pausing the creation of new auctions, new forging, parcel upgrades, and new fake gotchis. That means that you won't be able to create, you'll still be able to bid, but you won't be able to create new auctions or forge new wearables, upgrade your parcels, and create new fake gotchis. And the reason for this is we're trying to have as few things in flight as possible, and all of these items kind of have an in-flight time. Like it's an uncertain duration, and so we're just trying to prevent as many of those items as being in flight as possible when we do the migration, because it's just a hassle. It's more work, and more things can go wrong the more things are in flight. So we are going to be turning off certain parts of the protocol here for a little bit in anticipation of the base migration that is going to be happening in May. So apologies in advance for the inconvenience of that, but it's all in the service of the greater good of getting Aavegotchi finally off Polygon and onto base. So as part of that, we've already started deploying the contracts onto base Sepolia this week, and we're going to finalize that early next week, and then get the plan is to get the DApp basically working with these base Sepolia versions, and then invite everyone to come and basically help us do one final sanity check with all the assets and make sure that we're not missing any edge cases. I mean, this is a big migration. We have like a ton of contracts. This is not a simple little NFT migration as other projects have done. Like we're moving quite a bit here. So we want to make sure that we're not missing anything. Every pet is count. Every respec that you've ever done, those are all going to be migrated over. So we'll appreciate. I think we'll probably also be doing some XP for that process as well. So once that is live, we'll give everyone here a ping. And also, as part of this announcement, Geist Wind Down is nearing completion here. Now that Gotchi Points is over, there's no real need to continue with maintaining Geist. So we're going to shut that down. And all the funds that are actually on Geist still, which is not much, most people have already bridged off by now. Any funds that are remaining on the chain, they're safe. We're going to be airdropping those back to people on either Polygon or Base, and you won't have to do anything. The funds will just come back to you via the airdrop. So don't worry about that at all. We'll make sure that everyone gets their funds back if they haven't already withdrawn them from the Base bridge. And yes, that's the main part of that announcement. And then just we'll talk about it, I'm sure, during the Dower, but the Gotchi Point Season 2 update, we can continue talking about that. I know Hardcore and myself also have some points that we want to make about that to see what people are thinking about for Season 2.
Yeah, it's a pretty big update. There's a lot of headlines there, but the TLDR basically is we're moving to base. So there's going to be a little bit of a pause for certain features. Basically, it's all those features that have time windows, like time to mint, queues and the fakes, that kind of stuff. It's better to just have those things closed. And we'll come out the other side good to go. I like how the Geist bridge, what you just said there, Dan, worth repeating. That's probably going to still get asked a lot. People that don't read the full news announcement or aren't here today with us, but you guys can all help, right? We can all help each other with anybody that has questions during this time. So we'll do our best to keep repeating the good news, and funds are safe.
Funds are safe. Yep.
Yeah.
We'll also be getting a decent chunk of our fees that we paid to Alchemy back, since we're sunsetting the chain early. So that's gonna be nice. Honestly wanted to sunset it earlier, but because of Gotchi Points, we kept it open a little bit longer than it really needed to be. But it'll be over by the end of this month.
Just to go back to the
Um,
verse and that part of the news, there is one piece that actually does need to happen, and happy to report this will be coming very, very, very soon, and that's the claim all. The claim all button is not yet implemented. So we've got some things that are superior to 2D with like the multiple parcel support for many features, but claim upgrades. Here you can see the modal I just dropped. So it's ready to go. Basically, our lead dev Eris said there's about a day left of work
ship
before we
it.
can
Nice.
ship it. Yeah. So
Hell yeah.
expect this to ship next week. Be very, very nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that should help a lot as well. If you scroll up, you just saw the NFT. A lot of the feedback was about the NFTs. Once we're on base, it'll make sense because that's another of all the installations, the NFTs. They for the visuals and the querying of that information, it's just going to make a lot more sense to do once we're set up on base. So that will be happening. And there's a bit of I would love you guys' feedback and interest on what other types of NFTs would you like to see be able to be displayed on your parcels? So the team experimented with, at the very least, you're logging in, you have your player profile. Wouldn't it be nice if you earn, achieve, however you come across, you build your player profile with unique assets, you could display them and show them off on parcels you own. It'd be very easy to check and say this parcel is owned by someone with this player profile, therefore allow them to display their badges or their frames or their avatars, their banners. There's a lot of different things you could imagine taking from your player profile and bringing it into the verse. So there could be other types of NFT displays. This is just the one that was originally designed for the Aavegotchis, but you can see it being applied to a badge there as well. So a lot of cool stuff to do. Oh, and one more thing while we're on verse, to shout out to Soju. In general, we're talking about like UGC, user generated content, is something we want to see more of. Last week it was Benjamin, or just Benjamin. Shout out to him. He was making those tracks, those MP3s. As soon as I saw that, I was like, dude, let's put it in the verse. And we swapped out the famous Donkey Kong Country's soundtrack for just Benjamin's soundtrack. And now D1 is, if you hop in there, is his music. We'll keep it up for a while. And if somebody else has a track, we'll bring yours in. And then this week, just the other day, I saw Soju vibing out, making some 3D versions of his art. He's got his Chad Gotchi. So again, just said, hey, what file type is it? Give us the source file. We'll work on putting it into verse. So already got the team looking at. They said, yeah, we'll convert it from GLB to whatever it needs to be, FBX or whatever. We'll look into maybe some investing some resource in a day or so into animating it, bringing it to life, and maybe it'll become an NPC or something. Let us know. But with the vibe coding solutions, with all the AI solutions out there for art, I think a lot of people could start making really cool user generated content. And we don't have a very formal system for this kind of stuff yet, but join the conversation in the Gotchiverse 3D channel, and let's imagine how we could get more of your guys' content into the verse, whether it's minted through some sort of through Zora or something, and we support Zora NFTs, or our own bespoke minter, or anything like that. For now, it's all manual. We see something cool in the Discord, or you reach out to us, we'll do our best to make it part of the lore. So
one thing I saw on X this week was vibe rigging. I don't think they called it that, but that's basically what it was. Using AI to rig your models, because like we can import this model into the Gotchiverse, but like you said, like it's going to take some bandwidth from our team, the animator Ali, to actually like rig this and allow it to walk around. But I think the trend seems to be that you can like vibe rig a model and AI can do a decent job for you. So that would be a huge time saver if people like delivered a fully rigged model that is using a standard that is like pretty common, like a
I think FBX
I forget the name. Yeah, FBX. Yeah, FBX. I think it's called. whatever standard it is, that would be sick if you could just hand that over to us. We can drop that in with like no extra rigging required. Obviously, it might look a little wonky, but you know what? That's fine. Like we're not trying to be perfectionists here. We just want to get some UGC into the verse and have it be interactable and kind of walking around. The place is like starting to come to life. So I'll have to find that tweak because I think it was a pretty cool one.
Yeah, I've seen similar. I should have bookmarked it. Might be the same one you're referring to, but like, oh, I'm starting to see people talk about really bringing their 3D stuff to life with rigging for animation. So very powerful. It's just going to keep getting better and better. So we should make the verses as ready to receive your guys' content as possible. And
I think this was it. This is maybe Drax. This is maybe what you're referring to, the humanoids.
Oh.
I mean, I would argue that Gotchi Chad is kind of a humanoid, so that's why I mentioned it. Maybe it would work. I don't know. It doesn't really have a nose, so that might throw the AI off a little bit. But all the other proportions seem.
It's got back crack though.
Yeah, everything else should be anatomically correct.
And just like that is, so we plugged it in, and right away we noticed it's really dark, the lighting on the back side of the Chad Gotchi. So that's something like Robson's going to have to go and like figure out some new lighting for and stuff. So it's not super straightforward yet, but we're happy to. We see you guys making inspired things. We're going to try to find a place for it in the verse, and so look forward to getting that guy in there. I see Nadio playing with some stuff. Looks like a 3D version of his iconic art as well. Lev's looks good. I kind of like that stroke outline. That's something the team's actually been pretty busy with, is like outer glows around gotchis and stuff. That's actually something happening for Guardians right now. Looks pretty good, Lev.
Dude, it's come so far. We can finally have gotchis without feet, although the feet are growing on me, guys. I mean, if you can't fight them, join them, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, we finally got to a point where we actually can have gotchis without feet that are generated by AI. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Abobo. That's what Jesse's talking about here. Like, we need to do a few manual integrations so we can kind of get a feel for what the workload is. But I totally would love to have a pipeline where people can just upload stuff and like get it into the verse. Especially anything AI made, as long as it fits a certain standard, boom, drop it in. Footed gotchis. Looks like a Halloween costume, which is appropriate.
Yeah, maybe it's me under that thing. Who knows?
Facts, I'm not opening Photoshop, bro. I'm just vibing.
He ain't wrong, but yeah, I'm not opening Photoshop. It's funny. I'd rather just shout the same prompt 10 times. Take off the feet. Nofu, you were cooking a couple weeks ago with the Gotchi AI art. I see you just dropped a very, very nice, classy one right there.
Yeah, I have to get back to playing around with it more. I've just been a bit busy.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah, I've been trenching too much, so I haven't been in the creative mood. But yeah, like there's been some really cool stuff. I've been putting it on Zora, but I think Zora's dead now after the TGE. So yeah, I'll keep posting. But yeah, it's the ability to just put in like the PNG from the Aavegotchi side of my Gotchi and it just do anything with it has been really fun.
Is it that bad for Zora? Is it pretty rough out there? I mean, I know the token price aside, nobody's Nobody's using it. LP would know. He says Zora's definitely dead.
Yeah, I
Oof.
haven't looked at it recently, but yeah, they got to their TGE. I mean, most people got like peanuts basically, and then yeah, it definitely was a PR nightmare from the perspective of like how they launched the token. I think the Binance Smart Pools got their token allocations well before anybody else, and then they just didn't. Like it took forever for them to actually put out the information that the claim was live. So I got like $10. I'm just holding it. I don't care.
I know I got a similar amount. I think it was from some of the original OG like Geist NFT that we minted on base. I think that was a Zora mint. Yeah, no, I saw the drama. I was like, it's not going well. But the last couple of days I hadn't like really checked. I wonder how they're doing token aside. If anybody's making cool stuff over there.
I haven't seen it recently, but are we still talking about content coins on the timeline,
Yeah.
or did that just suddenly go away?
Like a 3-day life cycle.
Yeah, it had that really short life cycle, but at the same time, like yesterday or like over the last couple of weeks, Radium launched its like Pump Fun competitor, Launch Labs, and then yesterday they partnered with I guess Bonk, the meme coin on Solana, to create their like Bonk.fun. So I put up a chart at the, tweet about a chart before because I was like in the trenches. I saw this coin, Let's Bonk It, at like 300K market cap. And I was like, this is too late. It ran all the way to $30 million. So I had an easy 100X and I kept fading it because I was like, it's going to, it's going to revert. It's going to revert. There's no way it's going to keep going up like this. So it just like, big miss. But yeah, it feels like the trenches are starting to come back, at least on Solana a little bit. Plus the Solana boys are being spicy. Did you guys see that thing with Mega ETH? Their like Frogger type game where they were trying to show that you could do on-chain transactions for each move.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Solana, there's a Solana game.
Yeah, I
like Pedro
briefly
showed
saw that. I didn't realize it was a Mega ETH.
Yeah, it was interesting because it's like this is the fastest like on-chain transactions for a game, and then Solana, there's a Lana Road or something like that. Yeah, Lana Roads. Solana floor in less than 7 days. Send Arcade Fun built Lana Roads to compete with Mega ETH Labs for the fastest gaming transaction record. Now live on Solana's mainnet, the game features 10 millisecond transaction latency powered by Magic Block and Send RC. So I haven't played it yet.
That Magic Block stuff. I remember seeing that shit like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I was like, whoa, it's actually epic. Like I'm a little apprehensive for EVM. Like if Solana actually delivers on that, this idea of what do they call them? Like something transient or something like vape. I forget the term they're calling it, but like roll-ups that only last for a few seconds or like a millisecond and then they're gone, and just being able to actually scale Solana in a way that everything still settles onto Solana, but like you just get this huge unlock of data. So I don't know that I just saw they raised around, like they secured some money for Magic Block. We could be just entering like the next era of the EVM versus Solana war. And like EVM's having a rough time these last couple of years.
Yeah, that Bitcoin ETH chart is looking. Oof. I think Solana ETH also, it's just not good. But it's actually for the members of the DAO here, are we above our purchase price on our ETH still, or did we go under? I feel like we went under for a brief period of time when ETH hit like maybe 15 or 1600, but I don't remember the exact price that we bought our spot ETH.
I feel like it's probably lower.
Yeah, because I know ETH's at 1800 or around 1800 now. Oh, 2,200. Yeah, so we're a little underwater. Yeah, it might be
But yeah, I'm
worth
definitely
considering.
keeping my eye on this. Like if Solana actually gets this these like roll ups done in this way, that's pretty crazy, honestly.
When migration to Solana?
The good news is with this migration is that all the work has been done to if we wanted to pick up and go to Mega ETH or something. Not saying that's even on the cards, but it's the work to create the scripts and everything is done. So it's actually kind of cool. Now that doesn't work for Solana. I don't think Solana it's not really EVM compatible. Yeah, I know that Solana has rollups and L2s, but the point of Magic Blocks is that it's not a rollup or an L2. It's like a what do they call it? Ethereal. It's not ethereal, but they have a name for it. It's kind of a nice name, but it's like a roll up, but it only lasts a second, and then the transaction like it's computed off chain, but settles on chain somehow, which is what Ethereum really should have done instead of having 1,000 roll ups all over the place with no bridges between them. BSC. Hardcore, did you guys had something you wanted to kick off? We're nearing the end of the hangout here and entering the dower. So did you want to wait till the dower to start that, or you guys ready for your presentation? Did you say some stuff? Yeah, come on up. Floor is yours, friend. As far as next week, Golden Cross, I don't think we have any specific things shipping unless Gotchi Guardians is going to go live, which is I think it's either going to be early May or one more week. They're putting some final touches on things. But were there any things you wanted to highlight going into next week?
No, probably early May for Guardians. And you mentioned the migration. I think will definitely be on Sepolia next Monday or Tuesday at the latest. So we'll be fully ready to invite everybody over and start opening portals, petting gotchis, doing everything on the base testnet. And welcome everybody to help test that. The faster we get that ship shape, the faster we can push the big button.
Yep. Cool. Ditchy, welcome, sir.
GM, Coder Dan.
Trina, I think we're gonna let them talk. We'll start the dower. I think Ditchy's just gonna say some words before the DAO call, and then we'll get that started. Yeah, this is kind of the intro.
Well, thank you for inviting me up to speak this morning. I appreciate it. Maybe a little dry in the throat, but I'll do my best here. Yes, we're talking Foundation.
Okay, if you talk in Foundation, then I guess drop the GIF. Drop it.